when I grow up, I want to be rich. That's what I said to her. I was like,
Yeah.
what job can I do where I'm not going to have to work for someone for the rest of my life and I can make good money? There are other days where it feels like all hell has broken loose. My son might be having a full on meltdown, screaming, all the things.
We have these special things that come with us. And I'm just like, world, you have not even experienced this yet because it hasn't been allowed. And now that women are like stepping into these roles, I'm like, holy shit, do they realize how things are going to shift? Hey, Queen. Welcome to the She Elevates podcast. I'm your host, Liz Rankin, your favorite elevation bestie who's been through it, healed from it, and came back stronger with a mission. This podcast is your safe space and soul sanctuary where we talk real about relationships, motherhood, money, mindset, and everything in between. So if you're ready to reclaim your power, reconnect your purpose, and rewrite your story, let's get into it. Taylor Smith, welcome to the She Elevates podcast. I'm super excited to have you here today. How are you doing?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Fantastic. We are going to dive into all the things Taylor's life, her business, her motherhood, parenting, CEO role, all the things. I'm super excited. Why don't you give the listeners a little scoop of who Taylor is?
Yes, I am a mother of two and a serial entrepreneur. So I'm technically my trade, as it were, I'm a chartered accountant. So here in the UK, I am a chartered accountant. And what I do now is I use all of my experience, all of my knowledge from that industry, and I help female founders grow their businesses profitably, to manage their cash flow, and to make sure that when they're growing and scaling their businesses, it's not as hard as what it can be sometimes. So focus on the money, focus on leverage, and also that all important freedom.
Yes, that's so important. I think for me, I literally just went on a run before our call. And I was thinking, I post a lot about money and what my business has done for me and my family and building a legacy. But really, when you say that word freedom, it's like, what does it give you in life? And I started reflecting like, we really need to enjoy the process, the journey, like make business fun, make it something that you can live and show up to every day. But yeah, I think that's the big thing people are looking for. Do people say that they're looking for freedom when they come to you, or what are they looking for as your clients?
Yeah, 100% it's freedom. I think sometimes you have to ask a few questions before you get to that answer. But a lot of the women that I work with, they started their entrepreneurship journey and ended up working harder than what they did in like a corporate
Mm,
career or, some other line of work. And when you're in that state, I mean, don't get me wrong, I've been in this state as well, when it's just go, 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 push, push, push. It can be a lot. It really can. But the women that I work with now, they've almost pushed through that stage and they've built a business which is super successful. Um, but they're thinking to themselves, there's got to be a better way than this. Like,
yeah.
do I want to sustain this for the next 10 years? Like, freedom is usually where they're heading to. Even if they come to me first and say, oh, I want to make X amount of money. Like, they don't actually really care about a pot of money. What they care about is what that can do for them. And usually it ends up with them having more time with their family, traveling where and when they want to go. And essentially it almost always comes down to that word freedom that they're looking for when they come to me.
That is fantastic. What a dream for anybody most people who do become entrepreneurs, right? They're looking for the freedom. Travel is a big thing I hear. A lot of parents, they want to be able to actually enjoy raising their kids, not in a society that pushes all of this like work harder, work harder, work harder. Do you feel like there's something that was sold to us in our childhood or growing up that told us we need to work hard to be able to be profitable?
100%. Entrepreneurship wasn't even, from my memory, this is just going from experience, wasn't even an option. It was never mentioned in school, or, we had career day, which was a complete waste of time. Like, I think
Oh my gosh.
it said my career was going to be a
I love your
fishmonger.
honesty. I love your honesty. Yeah, it was a complete waste of time, right?
It was a complete waste of time. It was such a waste of time. It's like, yeah, you're gonna be a fishmonger, and I'm like, "Well, I get seasick, so how does that work?" But yeah, no, I believe my experience was that I was raised to be a good employee. Work
Mm,
hard, climb the ladder, and if you're really, really good and work really, really hard, you might get a good salary with reasonable amount of days holiday, and that will be your life, and that's the goal.
wow.
That's how.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, I sit here because well, I'm standing, but I'm thinking like that was what Americans were told, but you're in the UK. So
Mm,
clearly, is this a worldwide issue? The education system is just failing us and it's creating these worker bees that we dedicate a third, well, it's what, a third of our life in the days, because 8 hours a day, but it's over half of our waking hours, right? As employees working for somebody else, building their future, building their profit,
mhm,
and coming home tired to our kids who are also tired from a school system that's a piece of crap.
mhm.
So it's like, is anybody really living their best life if they are not creating their own business, their own passion, living in their own purpose, becoming a CEO?
Mm.
I don't know, right?
Oh, 100%. I completely agree. And what's even worse is when I was in that career doing really well, I was really like, wow, I'm doing really well in life. Like my
Mm.
view of my acceleration, because I, got to really high up in my corporate career. I was like, wow, look how hard I've worked. Oh, I
Yeah.
don't go home until 11, 12, 1 in the morning sometimes. I'm such a hard worker. Look at the position I've got in the company.
Yeah.
And it's not until you really take a step back, and I think as entrepreneurs especially, maybe they have a moment, maybe they have several moments where they realize that there is more to life than this.
Mm.
And there is
Yeah.
another way. There's a different way to do it, And I it took me a while to get there, but I did. And once you see that, you can't unsee that. Like, I believe,
Yeah.
you can't hide
Yeah,
it
yeah.
anymore.
Yeah, it gets worse every day actually. If you don't, like, listen to it and take action on it, I
Yeah.
feel like even with my kids in the school system, it's like it's a constant, like, exhaustion in my mind. But I also know that it's temporary. Like I'm using the school system, I'm leveraging the school system right now to really be able to focus and grow my business for 1 to 2 years. And then we're out. We're on the road. We're in the traveling worldwide. They're going to be all over the place while I work online. That is the plan, and that will happen because what you say comes to fruition. So I want to go back to because you help entrepreneurs make their businesses more profitable. For the women who are starting a business, do
Mhm.
you feel like there was any, and you yourself, was there anything in school that you learned at all that related to starting the business, or what after school maybe gave you the idea of like, this was the way to go, this was the path?
Um, there wasn't anything in school, really. I think I had one conversation with my mum's friend. We had something called work experience. I don't know if you have the same where you are, but we have this work experience where we work for 1 week in a real office environment or a job, or if you can find.
Not for a full week. They give us a take your daughter, take your son to work day.
Oh,
Is
okay,
what we have, yeah. So
fine.
you get a full week.
A full week, yeah, and my
Nice.
mum, yeah, it was, do you know what? It was good because my mum's friend, she had one friend, because my mum wasn't into work and all that stuff, like, the way we grew up was another story, but she had this one friend who worked in the game industry, so she worked in an office, and she said, "Oh, yeah, Taylor, come and work with me for a week." I was like, "Oh, great, like, I wanna see what it feels like to work in an office," and it was her that I said, "When I grow up, I want to be rich. That's what I said to her. I was like,
Yeah.
what job can I do where I'm not going to have to work for someone for the rest of my life and I can make good money? And she looked at me and she was like, you could be an accountant. And I was like, perfect, I'll be an accountant.
Oh my
That was
gosh.
literally my thought process for my future. That
Yeah.
literally was it. That was the start and end. So that work experience week, I guess, in school was good. Then because I went to college after that and I took up accounting and I did business studies. I also did
Mm.
sport because actually at my heart, what I loved to do was sport. Like I was a runner, like that was my passion. I did netball, I did all
Yay.
those sorts of things. Yeah.
Yay
Being a
for
sports
running.
as well. Oh yeah, I loved it.
I
I
love it.
loved it. But I decided quite early on that it was gonna have to be a hobby because I needed money quickly. I needed to help support the family household. You know, university was an option. I needed to go out and make money. So yeah, I did A levels, accounting and business studies. That was useful. That, the accounting stuff, understanding profit and,
Yeah.
what goes on through a business, that was useful. Um, and then after that, I just needed to go out and get into work. And I think actually it was working is what probably gave me the most, the foundational stuff that you need to know when running a business. And I guess probably because I was in the accounts department, it helped because I was looking at
Mm.
the finances. The cash was running the business. Everything had to come via finance at some point.
Yeah.
So I think that was really kind of having that experience in those departments when I started my career journey. That was what really helped. And as I progressed through my corporate career, I remember just thinking, "Oh my gosh, like, I could just start my own accountancy firm." Like,
Yes.
maybe that is my freedom if I can just start my own accountancy firm and I can help other people, with their finances. I don't have to be in the corporate space. So that was
Yes.
kind of how that journey all unfolded, really.
I love that. I love that because you're marrying what you love, which was the accounting and knowing that you wanted to be a CEO of your own company. And I always say for women who are looking to grow some kind of business, either go with something that you truly love or it's a passion and you've been doing it nonstop your entire life. Maybe it's gardening, maybe it's something with raising your kids, parenting, but also like if you were in a job that is something that you can take that skill set that you learned, that job is not like it's not a failure. It's not time wasted. Oh, I could have been a CEO much sooner. You actually got a skill set and you learned there and leverage that into your own business and grow your own firm. So I
I
love
love
that
that.
the steps worked out for you that way.
Definitely. Thank you. And I completely agree with everything you just said. And it doesn't even matter what job it was. Some people think that they need to be some kind of lawyer or something to be able to transfer the skill set. Like it could
Yes.
be anything. You could be a receptionist. Like it does not matter what the role is, but there will be so many things that we almost don't even recognize in ourselves that actually that is a skill and people need to know this or learn this from you. So yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter what role it was. Exactly what you said. You can still take that and create something of your own.
Yeah, such a good point. I'll keep this short, but my mentor was literally a chiropractor, and he
Mhm.
took the skill set of what he learned as a chiropractor and applied it to helping people create profitable businesses. And I'm like, well, what does a chiropractor do with a business? It actually has a lot to do. There's like a lot of processes and mapping things out and making visuals and illustrating things for patients. Like there's a lot and speaking skills, right? Even teachers, right? Teachers must have tremendous speaking skills. Like I don't right now, speaking skills to stand in front of a classroom of interrupting children all
Yeah.
day. Like there's so much a teacher can offer in their own business too. Let's get into actually being a parent, a mom of two amazing children. I love it. How did that change things for you? Were you already a CEO at the time when you started having kids?
No, I was still in my corporate role and
Okay.
but I knew I needed to leave because I was, finance director of a 400 million pound aviation business. And
Wow.
there was no way. And at the same time, finance director of 2 other businesses turning over 1 million. Like, there was no way. Yeah, like, I was really, I really climbed the ladder, and I'm grateful that I had those experiences and those opportunities. But there was no way I could do that role and have kids, because I knew, to me, I even as a younger child, I knew I wanted to grow up and I wanted to have a family, and I wanted to be as present with my children as my mum was with us. Like, I was very lucky in that, okay, we grew up, very poor, but my mum was always there. She used to come on school trips, and I used to love having her there. It was just the
Yeah.
best time. And I just wanted to be really present for my kids. I just wanted to work hard first so that I could do that comfortably. Um,
Mm. Mhm.
so when I met my husband, and we were deciding, oh, should we have kids? We'd got married and stuff. We were like, yeah, let's just do it. And I was like, right, okay, that means I'm going to start my own business. While I'm on maternity leave, I'll start working on it now, and it'll build by that time. It was
Yeah.
definitely the catalyst. It was the catalyst for me to really get my butt in gear and just make things happen and just make the change.
Yeah, yeah, that push. I mean, when you have a why, right? You're like, this why is huge for me. This why is I get to stay home with my children, raise my children, and be able to provide income for the family and a business that you could pass on to your kids or they could work with you in the future. Like, how beautiful is that? And for the kids to be like, my mom is amazing. Like, how did she do it all? It's just,
Oh, 100%. Yeah, it is. It is. That sense of accomplishment and fulfillment, and, the impact you have on other people's lives as well. You're not just a number in a job. You're actually supporting your clients, your people that you care about. So it's a great feeling all round, definitely.
oh, Taylor, is how do you juggle it all? How do you juggle motherhood, being a CEO, all of the things of the home? What does that kind of look like for you?
Absolutely wild. And I'm gonna be so, like, brutally honest here. It is wild. Some days are fantastic. The kids get ready on time. I could take
Yeah.
my son to school. It's perfect. My daughter goes to nursery. It's perfect. I come back, do all of my meetings. Amazing. And there are other days where it feels like all hell has broken loose. My son might be having a full-on meltdown, screaming, all the things. My daughter then watches him and mimics everything he does. I'm late
Mm,
to the drop off the nursery. I'm late to drop him off at school. And I'm late for anything else. So it really, I used to really aim for that perfect balance, like, oh,
right.
balance this and balance that. But in all honesty, what I found is there's imbalance, but I just make sure that that imbalance flips almost equally where I can. So there might be times where I'm either launching something or working on a project, or, doing something that requires my time. And in those situations, I might be recruiting family members to help, or whatever that might look like, just so I can try and get some progress there. And then there'll
Mhm,
be other times where I know that I've got systems in place, I've got XYZ, and I can just be really mum, 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 and really focus on that. So it does swap and change. And I've stopped trying to push for that perfection, the perfect mum that can do everything all on her own, and it doesn't need anything from anyone. Like, I've stopped striving for that, because I think
mm,
it was just, beating myself up when a day wouldn't go right. Um, Whereas now I'm much more like, if it's having a meltdown morning, like my son, I'm not sure if I've told you, but he's autistic and he's pre-verbal. So his
okay.
meltdowns can be really severe sometimes. And instead of trying to be like, oh, you're fine. Come on, we need to get to school. Okay,
Mhm,
we're having a meltdown morning today. Right. What can we do? Shall we sing a song? Like, and
yeah.
just approach things differently now, rather than trying to manage everything and
Yes.
strive for that perfection. So
Yes, for
yeah,
sure.
it's
Yeah.
wild is the honest
Yeah,
answer.
I think that's, like, the best word for it. It is wild. I usually say chaotic, but I also, like, tend to attract crazy, so things just come. Yeah, that's totally I feel for that because raising my children, they're all different. Every kid is just so different in their way and even different chapters of their lives, different ages. They might be going through something. Like my one of my twins, she's now 9. Like she would have these extreme temper tantrums and she was like delayed on speech, so I didn't understand what she was saying, where her twin, she was like 2 months ahead of all of the other, the check boxes from the pediatrician and everything. Which, it's a hard balance because as a parent, you're like, this is my baby and I will do anything for them. And then, yes, you want to believe the doctors, but also at the same time, let's be honest, we've seen doctors say people have 6 months to live and then they live for 15 more years. Like, so there's been many things for me I've been diagnosed with where they were like, you'll have this for the rest of your life. And I was like, I challenge you with that. And I've like healed my hypothyroidism. My fibromyalgia is like nearly gone. So I don't know. I listened to a lot of Dr. Joe Dispenza, and he's like,
Mm,
your belief is powerful. And as long as you believe like there are all the possibilities, like people can get through it. But to get back to like the chaotic mornings, like when she would have a temper tantrum, I started just weighing like, do I want to be the angry, irritated parent who gets her to school on time? Or do I want to be the one where she's like, Mom, you were really there for me. Like, you didn't care if we were late while I was having a really hard moment. And if she looks back and if she remembers that, like, I'd rather not disentangle our relationship as a mother daughter and just be like, the society is pressuring us to get you there on time. And this is a time they choose. It's not really a time our family chose or whatever it is. I don't think it's that serious. Like, if you look 10 years from now, like, is that morning of being on time going to make a difference?
yeah.
Not
Right.
really. Not at all. Yeah,
Okay.
it's
Yep.
life is too precious and kids are tender.
Mm,
So it's beautiful that you have awareness to that, and
mm.
I commend you for being patient with it. I know it's hard. I
Oh
know
my
it's so
gosh, like, I
hard.
can't imagine with 4, like Superwoman.
Yeah.
I
I'm like,
wouldn't
"You
even know
figured
where to
out."
start. I wouldn't know where to start with 4. That is
You figured
incredible.
out you are nearly I know we talked about control before this episode, but you nearly don't have a choice anymore, you just have to let go of control. So
Yeah.
I feel like if anything, that's what it's taught me. I'm like, if I can and they do grow up, like, yes, the baby moments and days and hours, they feel like eternity. And you're like, did I sign up for this? And this is how you're like literally thinking, this is how the rest of my life is going to look. Like, nobody told me this. But by the time they're like 7, 8, you're
Mm,
like, wait, you don't want to snuggle me on the couch? You don't want me to help you brush your teeth? And then you start like looking for those little moments of like, are you too independent? You don't need mommy anymore.
yeah.
So there's definitely like some push and pull with that.
Mm, yeah, no,
They
we've got
always
it
grow
rough,
up.
haven't we? We've got it rough as mothers, like, we're
Yeah.
exhausted and, but then we like you said, we get to that point and, my son, he I when he gets into a hug, he really does hug, but I have to, like,
Mhm.
sometimes grab him, like, "You give me a hug, just give me a
Yeah.
hug."
Well, I use science with them too. I'm like, they say 20 hugs a day is required for humans. And if I really want to hug, we just sit there and hug 20 times.
That's amazing.
So I'm like, if you believe in science like every other person on this planet, like
Yeah,
you'll get
100%.
your hugs in. You
I'm gonna
live
use
longer.
that. I'm gonna use that.
So let's get into your business, right?
Mm.
You help entrepreneurs grow their business. What does that kind of look like? What kind of things do you guys talk about? What kind of practices do you put in place?
Yeah, no, so I mentioned earlier that I thought, oh, my accountancy practice, that's going to be how I get my freedom and that's going to be the thing. And I did open an accountancy practice, and it is still open today, but it has been kept small on purpose. And there's just a couple of clients that have been there for years. I'm like, oh, okay, I don't really have to do too much, so
Yeah,
it's fine.
good.
But the problem that I discovered quite quickly with that business is that all people ever wanted to talk about was how much tax do I have to pay? When do I have to pay it by?
Mm,
And that wasn't what I was doing in corporate. Like, that was part of it, but a really small part. And it wasn't the conversations I loved having.
mm,
Is why I built this consultancy business, which is focused around financial strategies. So I use all of my experience and, all of my knowledge around the financial strategic moves you make if you want to grow and scale your business. And I help simplify it and install it within female businesses. So let's just say a lady comes to me and says, "Oh, I want to be making more money. I don't really know, how to grow my business. I'm doing I'm posting on socials, and I have some clients, but I don't really know what I need to be doing." The first thing I do and come in and I look at the financials and how the business is performing in its current format. Because
mm,
what I found is actually quite often there will be areas in the business that is leaking money. So it might be, an offer that's not actually very profitable, but that's the one they're focusing all their time on. It might be that they're wasting money on anything, subscriptions or whatever it might look like.
mm,
And then
mhm.
once I've optimized the current business and we've gone through it all, and we're happy that actually this in its format now, this is scalable if we really want to go for it. We then look at, what they want their business to really look like in 5 years' time, 10 years' time. Like, what are you really aiming for? Because I've found that a lot of women, especially, and it's normal, we go through that hustle, like, I just need to get more clients. I just need to get more clients.
Yes, yes.
Every service is a little bit tweaked or a little bit, oh, I do answer that person on WhatsApp or whatever it might look like. And when it comes to scaling your business, it's really hard if you don't have processes in place that
Mm,
support the size you want your business to grow to. So we then look at, okay, what sort of offers do you want to be offering? Is it group? Is it one-to-one? Like, is it passive? Like, what are you actually wanting to, what's the end result? And then we look at how we can grow the business to get that. So it might be phasing out an offer, it might be bringing in a new offer, but we map it out financially to really
mm,
understand, okay, this is where I want to get to. This is where I am now. What do I actually need to achieve? Like, not just in a year's time, like quarterly, monthly. What does that actually look like in tangible figures? Like, what do my leads need to look like? What does my conversion need to look like? Like, we really nail it down into easy steps, really, to be honest.
mhm.
I like to keep things super simple, especially when it comes to the financials. So yeah, I will install a financial CEO dashboard in the business so they've got
Nice.
visibility of their performance, and we can start molding the business into one that we actually want to scale at a later date. So that's
Wow.
really what I do with
That's a
entrepreneurs.
lot of what you do, and that's huge. That's fantastic. I always hear, like, there's different things that, entrepreneurs go through as they grow, like, how you got to 100K is not the same as you'll get to 500K and to 1 mil, like, there's different things that happen in there. I do wonder, I know mindset is a lot of things for the newer entrepreneurs. Do you see so much of it being mindset at this stage, or is it just more so like frameworks, processes that they really need to hunker down on?
Do you know what? Mindset was surprisingly quite a big part of it. And the reason why I say surprisingly is because usually the women that come to me are already very successful. Like,
Right,
they're
right.
already, multiple six figures. You know, getting sales isn't usually an issue. Like, there are some exceptions where I've worked with smaller businesses and, and some larger ones, but that part isn't the issue. Actually, the mindset and the willingness and acceptance of, I now need to get control of my numbers, that can be really confronting for some women. It
Mm.
can. It's it's a tough one because the conversation varies. But take, for example, I was speaking to one woman who's super successful, 700,000 a year, like really, really successful. But even she said to me, I don't know if I'm ready for someone like you. And that's not because her business isn't ready. That's
Mm.
because she wasn't in a place where she was ready, because
Wow.
it can be a lot. It can be a lot for someone to take in. And like I said, the conversation can be different for everyone. Sometimes it's fear, sometimes they just find it really boring. There's different things that can show up, but mindset is definitely a part of it. But what I found is actually once they have these system installs, once they have that visibility and confront that and get over that first initial bit, the relief that they feel afterwards is like the best feeling in the world. They're like, oh my gosh, I actually feel this, or I actually feel like I know
Yeah.
what's going on. I can actually see it building properly rather than my money just disappearing every month. And I'm not quite sure really where it's going. Like it's
Yeah.
yeah, it's really fulfilling for me. But yes, sorry, the
So
short
good.
answer to your question is mindset
No, that is
is part of it.
I'm glad you went into detail because yeah, we're talking about that dream life, right? The
Mm.
freedom, right? The
Mhm.
freedom. They are literally taking what is on their mind all the time, every time, because they're already sitting there thinking like, well, how do I make even more? How do I get my time back? Because you
Mhm.
are constantly putting into it in the beginning. Like you have to figure out what works, what doesn't work. Where do I need to pivot? And I understand what you're saying. Like, if you were to say for a lot of startups, like, hey, send me over your list of clients, send me over your percentages, send me over this data. It's like, wait, I've been just taking messy action to figure this out. Now you want me to send it over in a spreadsheet? I don't know where everything's coming from.
Mhm.
So yeah, it can, although it's not pressure from you, we put pressure on ourselves naturally, be like, oh, wow, I need to write this shit down because I'm not keeping it anywhere. I'll need to go through emails. And I literally heard this conversation on a podcast. They were, I think it was Gary Vaynerchuk. Love him. He's so great.
Yeah.
Um, but he was just saying, like, people come in, it's like, how do you, he's in a place where he's like, how do you not track this stuff, right? But it's the different levels of entrepreneurship, right? Like you okay, you need to start tracking and come back when you do track, and then we're gonna like hit the ground running because we can
Mm.
scale this. Like if you've got proof, you can scale it.
Exactly. And that's where I come in. Like I say to the ladies like that I speak to having conversations, if someone's thinking about working with me, but they're hesitant, I'm like, you don't need to come to me with perfect finances. I already know they're not. It's fine. Trust me, I know. I've seen it all.
Yeah,
It's fine. It doesn't matter what you put up on your social medias and all of this amazing amounts of money. Like I I already get it. So don't worry. This is a safe space. No judgment. Like just come as you are and what you've got, because I can give you the systems to help get us to the point where you want to get to. So
yeah,
it's yeah, like what you said is so true. I think some ladies probably do still hesitate to reach out for the financial side of the support because maybe they feel like that's not their strongest area, or it's not as good as what they want it to be. They just want to get it to here and then they'll get support. But just reach out because you can
yeah,
get there so much quicker with someone like me and just help you implement it all.
yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking of you as a doctor. Like, put the gown on. Like, I've already seen everybody's body in the world. Like, I'm not here to judge you. Put it on. We need to get to work and make stuff happen
100%.
here.
That is exactly what
You need to
that's exactly what.
diagnose, and I cannot
Yes.
diagnose if you just don't bring it all with you.
No, exactly. Warts and all, bring it all. Like just come as you are because I've seen it, I've done it, I've worked with hundreds of millions of pounds businesses. Like I've seen it all and I've seen the financial
So
systems
good.
behind it. I already know. You don't need to explain. It's fine. Just come. Let's sort it.
So, so good. It's beautiful. I love it so much. Getting back to juggling the kiddos, how do you juggle, maybe you have a work call and you've got kids there? What does that look like for you? And do you have any tips to get through the wild, the crazy, the chaos being a female CEO?
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely, on days where I don't have childcare, so maybe my son might be off school for whatever reason, if my daughter's not in nursery, my first go to, I am very lucky that I have family support. And I thank them every day because I'm not sure if I shared this, but my husband and I, we're separated and, going through
Mhm.
divorce, all that sort of fun. So being a single mom, it definitely, there are surprises along the way, things that you think you've planned out and everything's fine, so I can have my work call, and then everything's gone, upside down.
Yeah.
Um, Calling on friends and family have been like my number one. But if it is literally just me and there is nothing else I can do, snacks,
Yeah,
lots and
snacks.
lots of snacks.
Bribery.
All the bribery I can, lots of snacks, lots of chocolate, enough to keep them quiet for half an hour while I
Yes.
quickly take a call. But the people that I work with, again, I feel very lucky, the people that I attract, because they are so understanding. So
Mm,
if I do have my kids here, and I think, oh yeah, it could get a little bit wild, I will always say up front, and I'm yet to have a reaction of, oh no, like you're supposed to be professional, I've never had
right.
that. So I definitely think people are more understanding than I guess what I thought I had to be. Because there was definitely a
Yeah.
stage where I thought, oh my gosh, they can't know my kids are running around in the next room. Like,
Mm,
there's got to be silence. I had this pressure on myself that I couldn't
yes.
allow this, like, mayhem to be seen by anyone. But actually, it's just life. It is life,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't get offended if that was someone else's position. And so I shouldn't feel like I would, offend someone else if that happens on our call. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's a juggle, yes, but I think the people understand a lot more than what we probably give credit for, and lots of snacks.
Yeah, yeah. I agree. We put way too much pressure on ourselves. I'm like, if you're jingling keys or like your tablet let out a sound, like, luckily the background, the noise cancellation is a lot better than what it was like 5, 6 years ago. Like it was terrible. It picked up everything. The dog's like wagging their tail. You'd hear it on the Zoom call. But yeah, I mean, I've been with plenty of mentors, even male mentors, and like two of them, they're constantly just letting, hey, buddy, come over here and say hi to everybody. I'm like, oh, are we allowed to do that? Like, I'm thinking, professional, are we allowed to do that? Wait, he's doing that and he makes hundreds of $1 million a year. I'm like, okay, it's almost like it gave me permission to be like, who cares? Who really cares? And actually, your kids are more likely to leave sooner if you're just like, hey, come say hi. And then they're just like, oh, I got that fixed now. I'm gone. I'm like, that's all you wanted? You were kicking and screaming over there for 10 minutes.
It's so true. It's so true. Oh,
Yeah.
they do that. Like there's like all hell is breaking loose, and then it's one little thing, and you're like, really? Was that necessary? Was that necessary?
It always happens as soon as you hit let's go on the
Exactly.
call.
They just know. They have a sixth sense.
Oh my goodness. It's funny to laugh at, but the pressure is there when it's happening. It's like,
Yeah,
oh, calm down, calm
definitely.
down.
Yeah, it's hard.
So you work with women business owners. I want to ask you, is there a reason why you specifically work with women, female entrepreneurs? What's the reason behind that?
When I first started, I thought, oh, I'm just going to work with anyone. But then you get told you have to niche down and make sure you be really specific. So I did think about it, and I was like, do you know what? I want to work with female online service providers, coaches, consultants, and all of that. And to be honest with you, that was the main reason at first. But then once I started working with women, two things. First of all, it was so refreshing to because I come from aviation. That's very
Yeah.
male,
Yeah.
like old white male, family money, private jets, all the things. It was very sales focused, really aggressive, like lovely people that I worked with, but that was the environment you were stepping into.
Sure.
Um, the,
Wow.
the stuff that I saw in board meetings, it was fantastic. It was great comedy value, but it was intense.
Oh my gosh.
But so working with women, I just got it's just a different energy. It is a different
Mhm.
energy. And again, with the, being a single mom and the understanding and all of that, it's different. I found I was able to stop pushing so hard and being so male energy,
Mm.
and I could just
Yeah.
almost relax into my flow a little bit more, if that makes sense?
Yes, yes.
So I liked how my approach was changing as a result of working with other women, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I know women appreciate that too on the back end
Mm,
because we just think differently. Our like you said, our emotions, our frequency, our vibrations are all I think it's just so important. I think it's been ignored for so long because men have been running the workforce and businesses and I reflect a lot of time, and because I'm such, like, a cheerleader of all females, especially entrepreneurs, I sit here and think, "Oh my gosh, like, world watch out,"
mhm,
because for women to step into the roles of what has been male dominated for so long, like, we are just going to soar. We are going to kick ass. We are going to do some crazy things that men are just not capable. They
mhm,
just don't have the gifts, the intuition, the caring, the kindness.
mhm.
It's just not there for them, right? We have these special things that come with us, and I'm just like, "World, you have not even experienced this yet because it hasn't been allowed." And now that women are, like, stepping into these roles, I'm like, "Holy shit, do they realize how things are gonna shift? Like, how amazing how more beautiful, how more impactful. Like, we work for impact. Like, we wanna change lives. We wanna transform things. We want to make things better. And I always say, like, we were put here for a reason, but
Mhm.
leave planet Earth better than what it was. Like, what is that impact that you can make? And I feel like I'm not gonna say men aren't thinking about that, but women definitely are thinking about that.
Definitely. I couldn't agree more. I think definitely watch out world. I think women, we come from a place of um more relationship based. Like we want longevity with our clients and we want to see these transformations and we want to see all these incredible things happen. Like you said, not to say that men don't, but I find that being from a male dominated
Yeah.
industry, it's very transactional as opposed to relationship and, transformational. So yeah, it's magical working with women. And I think we're already doing amazing, incredible things. And I think it's only going to get better as we all get more courage and see more, see
Yeah.
more successes and we all build each other up. And I love it. I absolutely love it.
Yeah. I'm so looking forward, like, I don't know. Like, I have 4 daughters, and I'm like, "Man, y'all are gonna have it good." Us moms are, like, setting it up for you because you're gonna rock it.
Well, definitely.
So good.
Yeah, and I feel like as well, I was speaking to someone else about this the other day. I feel like we're almost the generation of we're healing, generational wounds
Yes.
yeah, like all of that, but also at the same time paving the way for the younger generation to just come through and say, "No, this is what I choose, and I'm going to go with
Yeah,
that," rather than just being do as you're told and you're seen and not heard.
yeah.
We're definitely transforming the world for better in that respect.
Yeah. Oh, man. I don't wanna grow old, but I can't wait to see how it turns out.
Yeah,
You know what
definitely.
I
It's
mean? I'm
gonna
not
be
trying to
amazing.
rush it, but I cannot wait to see how it turns out. All right. Well, Taylor, this has been so good. Our conversation has just been beautiful. And I really do adore you and all the things that you're doing. I know my listeners of the She Elevates podcast, they are getting so much out of this episode. Where can they find you and connect with you, Taylor?
I am on all of the social media sites, but I guess my go-to platform is Instagram. So my handle, again, on all of my social media is Taylor Smith and Co, all as one word. So yeah, I mean, if you're listening to this and you're like, oh, it would be good to reach out, have a conversation, DM me on Instagram and absolutely let's have a chat.
Fantastic. And I'll make sure to put all of that in the description of this episode below. And also, Taylor, I always ask my guests of the podcast if there is one final message that you would like to leave the listeners today, and it could be business related, could be personal, could be anything. What is that one message you want to leave them with?
You are absolutely incredible. You are incredible. You are a light that you don't even realize how bright you are and how amazing you are. So I want to remind you today that you are such an incredible human being. And if you're in a place where maybe you're finding things a bit tough, or maybe you're struggling a bit, reach out because there will be so many people there happy and more than willing to support you, strangers or not. So please don't ever feel like you've got to ride this wave on your own because there are so many of us women just like us, me and Liz, like so
Yes.
many women here to support you, no matter what that looks like, a virtual coffee, whatever that might look like. So keep pushing through and just remember how incredible you are.
Oh my gosh, that's so beautiful.
Thank
I
you.
love that. I love that. I've been preaching so much about belief, and you've just instilled that into so many of the listeners because I always say, like, you can borrow belief. And if Taylor is telling you you are incredible,
Mm,
I am seconding that you are incredible. And it's just like a parent telling their kid, like,
mm,
you're amazing, you're fantastic. And we can do that as grown-ups too, right? We can tell
100%.
each other how fantastic we are.
100%, and I believe we should actually do that more. Like already know we don't tell ourselves enough, nowhere near enough. So
Yeah,
I want to be a reminder to remind you all that you are just how amazing you are.
fantastic. Taylor, thank you so much for your wisdom, your kindness, your beauty, showing up today and sharing your message.
Um,
I look
Thank
forward
you.
to our next conversation.
Yeah,
Have a
thank you so much for
fantastic
having
day.
me. Thank you for having me. It was so lovely to be here.
I created something powerful for the woman who's tired of playing small. If you're done surviving and you're ready to rise, this is for you. It's called the She Elevates Blueprint, a 7-day transformational guide to help you reclaim your power, reset your mindset, and redesign your life from the inside out. We're talking confidence, clarity, boundaries, money, love, healing, purpose, every area of your life. Each day, you'll get a journal prompt, an aligned action, an affirmation, and a voice note from me, yours truly. So it feels like I'm right there cheering you on. You're going to feel seen. You're going to feel grounded. And by day 7, you won't even recognize you. If you've been waiting for a sign to elevate your life, this is it. Tap the link, download your free copy of the She Elevates Blueprint, and let's step into your next level together. You're not alone. You're not broken. You're becoming. Let's rise, my queen. Thank you for tuning in to the She Elevates podcast. I hope today's episode poured into you, reminded you of your power, and gave you something to take with you on this journey of elevation. Share it with a friend, your sister, your tribe, because when one of us rises, we all rise. Make sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if you're feeling generous, leave a review. It helps more women find this movement and step into their highest self. Want more? Come hang with me over on Instagram at Liz Rankin Elevates, or join our free She Elevates community on Facebook, where we heal, grow, and glow together. Until next time, remember this: you're not behind, you're not broken, you're becoming. Keep rising, Queen. Your next level is already calling.